YouTube, Trail Dogs Tuesday. We got Kurt's buggy over here. We're gonna adjust the preload in his springs. His spring settings should be factory 6 inches, 6.10 inches. And right now he's setting at like 6 inches. And he never adjusted them from the factory. That's just the way they are now. So we're gonna go ahead and adjust it. Before we did the System 3s, we just did them. If you ain't seen that video, go check it out. But we did the System 3s on there. And before we did that, it was setting at 10.5 inches right on the dot of ground clearance, which it should be 12.5 inches, but it's not. So we're gonna go ahead and adjust the springs. Right now, with the System 3s on it, we're setting at 14.25 inches. So any gain from here would be gained before the wheels as well. So you can take that number for what it is. So we're gonna go ahead, show you how to adjust it. Stay tuned. We got it off the ground, safe. Now we're gonna go ahead and measure. You're supposed to be at 6 foot 10 inches from this spot right here to the top of this retainer nut. So right now we are at about 6 inches and just under 6.25. So it's supposed to be 6 inches, 6.10 inches. Sorry. We're gonna go about 6 7/8. That's close enough for me. I'm not really worried about it being perfect. So we'll go 6 7/8 and we'll go from there. There's multiple ways to do this. You got to spin it, and once you get it off the ground, it's easier to spin. There's the factory tool that you use to spin. You get it in them little holes, and you use it like a wrench. And you just keep going a little bit at a time. But if you got it, the shock threads cleaned up pretty good, and you got them greased up with some lubricant, you can use. We found that a oil filter wrench works pretty well. Go ahead and feed it through. Just like that, and then go ahead and other way, George. We got it all backwards, but you guys see that. You guys get the idea. We found out that these work pretty good for the Polaris applications, especially if you don't feel like busting your knuckles with the other thing. You just keep doing that and work it down. Works pretty good. Or if it's loose like it is now and these threads are clean, you can just use your hand. It's not too bad. Sometimes it ain't this easy though, so you do have to find other means, like with the ratchet or the slide wrench or the factory wrench, but sometimes it's not this easy. This is a rare occasion that you can. We cleaned these shocks pretty good. Kurt did, and we oiled them up pretty good too. So, like I said, this is rare. You're not gonna get this all the time. So you do a bunch of thread rolling, and George is already almost there. He's just under 6 3/4. Throw a couple more turns on there, and we're ready to rock. This is the last one. We've already done them all, and they were all pretty much fairly the same. We're gonna show you how to do the back one as well. The back one's a different setting. So we're looking for 6 7/8. Probably another turn or so, George. Yep, that's 6 7/8. Alrighty, there we go. The front is done. Now we're gonna go show you how to do the back. Give me one second. Now we're on to the back. So the rear should be at 3.31 inches. So we'll call it 3 1/3. And right now it's setting right at 3 1/8. So we really ain't got that far to go. And like I said, his threads are clean. We oiled them up. So George is gonna go ahead and spin it and get it to 3 1/3. All right, 3 1/3, 3.3. Right now we're at 3 1/4. So we just got We've got maybe one and a half more turns, and we should be right where we need to be. There's just over 3 1/4. So I think we're good there. All right, and there you go. Like I said, our factory ride height, well, not factory, our pre-anything ride height was 10 1/2. We put the big tires on it. Now we're at 14 1/4. Now we'll set it down, remeasure it, and see what kind of ground clearance we got from adjusting the shocks as well. So stay tuned for that. Give me a second. So after remeasuring it, taking it for a spin, we ended up with just under 15 inches, which that number made us all pretty happy. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next Tuesday.